Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is January 19th, 2022. This is episode 463. Today we're looking at Out, issue number 3 of 5, coming out from our Upshot Mature Content at a whopping $3.99. Now we're taking this quick look at this cover. This is a recommend, by the way. It's not the greatest story in the world, but it is interesting enough. I think the art's really good. The cover's by Tim Bradshaw, and he's been doing a really nice job on these covers. I do believe there might be a variant cover available as well. I'm not quite sure on that, but as you can see, he's really goes into a lot of detail on these, almost like stippling with all those shadowing and cross-hatching going on there. I don't know if he's doing these from photorealism or not, but it does look like the guy, that officer there, right here, he does look like the guy that's in the book. So maybe he's just using the pictures that were given to him and he's going with it. So what has happened is this gentleman here, who's one of my complaints is there's not enough about him. All we know is he's pretty ruthless. And he wants to become, I guess, a Nazi hero. He has discovered this creature, or this monster, I should say, that was needed to be released by saying some kind of ancient chants, and the creature's kept under control by using some religious relics and things like that, artifacts. So, and this is our Windtalker Native American Navajo, but they all call him the Comanche for some reason. And this is kind of the monster who was once a king apparently, but not a lot of story about him too much. But some does arrive back in this. So there's no real character development between these three at this time, and they are the three major roles. The Navajo is being kept in a concentration camp, not really that, just a prisoner of war camp, and it's within an ancient castle. And the Germans are and this castle's up on a snowy bluff or cliff. So it starts off, Luden, who's our what do you want to call him? Our villain, mass villain, and he's a Nazi on top of that, so it makes him extra special. Figures out that the communication lines have been cut, and that means the Americans should be there within 2 or 3 weeks to them. But he's not worried because he's got the monster, and he believes he'll be able to control the monster through this Navajo Windtalker, who seems to know all these different languages, including Czechoslovakian, and that's what this monster speaks, is ancient Czech. So you can see these nice drawings of the castle where they're being kept. Of course, the Navajo is just going along with it because he has no choice. I mean, they pretty much will try to throw him to the monster to eat, but the monster was able to tell them to let him go, and that's when they realized he could communicate with them. So on this, we've got Rob Williams doing the writing. Now, I wish Rob would put more depth into these characters because the story, I think, is pretty good. The artist is Will Conrad. He's doing a good job. Mark Lesko is the colorist. Sal Cipriano is the letterer. And, of course, we talked about Tim Bradshaw as the cover artist. This issue just moves the story a little bit further along. We do find out a little bit more about the monster as he starts talking to the Navajo. We've got the crazy priest in the yard. I don't know if he's going to play some kind of figure later on, since there is some kind of religious symbolism that is keeping the monster under control as far as not letting him run amok and killing everybody. But they do, here's where they're pointing at the Navajo, saying, hey, there's that traitor. They believe he's a traitor because he can speak German. Not a lot to go on that. I mean, he can speak apparently many languages, and we never find out why he knows so many languages on top of that. So that's a little bit of a disappointment. Build that character up a little bit. Let us know why he's so knowledgeable about languages. Okay, and he starts talking to the monster down there, and it's never quite sure. He needs to feed to get stronger, and the Nazi commander believes if he gets strong enough, he'll be able to take down airplanes and wipe out whole armies and all kinds of things. So we have this nice cross section of both of them eating. The Navajo is getting a special meal because the Nazis want him to work with them. He's just eating it just to go along and, gain more sustenance because the rest of them are not. And we also see that the monster is getting some, I guess, eating a dog. I'm not sure where the dog came from, but so he's Luden, who is the evil Nazi commander, has made a deal with the Navajo. Navajo's just going along. He has no choice, really, but he's thinking of a way to get out of it because he is no traitor. And we get an ad for Knighted. I don't know anything about this. Issue number 3 already this month. Heroes Never Die. Okay. It looks like we might have an evil hero going on there. Meanwhile, the other prisoners are trying to tunnel out of the camp, and they come across what they believe is a sewage pipe. So they believe that they can now break through that and get out of the camp and go to freedom. But they're up on a cliff, and they don't know if that's just going to drop them down somewhere else. Apparently, there's another guy in the camp that has kind of refused to help them, and the reason being is he's been tunneling out before. He believes the Americans are going to be there and rescue them. His name's Bronson. And, of course, they think he's a traitor. There's this one guy that he's kind of a troublemaker within the group. He's just goes after everybody and tries to get them all in trouble. And there you go. Just some of the imagery in here is pretty doggone good. Like I said, though, I want more backstory about these characters. I want to know more about them, and we're not getting that. Just that this Luden guy is driven, he's ruthless, he's evil, and that's about all. Now we have a Crimson Cage coming out from John Lees. This will come out January 19th, which is today, by the way. Looks like it's some kind of artifact that's found. I'm sure there's something going on inside that artifact. That's my guess. I'm assuming. Okay, then we have the Navajo being held back to the crypt once again to talk to and the crypt is within this church, this old cathedral there in the castle, and talks to him a little bit more. The creature asks him to come down and talk face to face, and this is when we really finally get kind of a good look at what he looks like. It's to the horror of the Navajo here, but he asks him to go down and talk to him downstairs. And he's relaying all this information back to the guy that's helping him. It's kind of a flashback, I guess. And then the baddie of the group comes and strikes down the friend of or the guy that was helping the Navajo. But he gets his comeuppance. The rebel rouser, as the monster is out, and it attacks him. And we got the evil Nazi sitting there. This is to be continued. So here is issue number 4. It goes on sale today, apparently, so I might be picking that up today. You can see, once again, this cover nicely drawn. It looks like a Tim Bradshaw cover once again. And war is hell, say hello to the devil. So we don't really know the monster's intentions. We just know that he was a king once, and he was sealed up because he turned into a monster, and now he's been released. And apparently out on his own, feeding on all the other, who's ever necessary at the time. Actually, the Navajo commands him, says, take this one, and the monster does. So they get rid of the bully, the guy, the troublemaker within the prisoners. So that's how that one ended. And we get some shots of what the next one looks like, also pretty cool. You can see them tunneling out. That's a pretty nice shot. Okay, Mark Russell's Not All Robots, issue number 5 is already on sale. I gotta pick up issue 4 and 5. I have not seen them in the store. Welcome to the future, mankind. Your services are no longer required. Okay, I love the first 3 issues, just the going back and forth between the robots and mankind and the new generation of robot coming out that I think will bring the two sides together, because they see they're both up for elimination. Jeff Mokomsky has the 4th man, a 4-issue. What's nice about the AWA Upshots, they go about 5 issues, 4 issues. Man's World, which I really liked, was a 4-issue only. 3 murders, 25 grand, or best offer. So there you go on the 4th man. And other things that are available and out from AWA Upshot. We've talked about a few of these already. Okay, so thank you for stopping by and listening to my video review of Out. 3 of 5. Recommended. As always, please like, please subscribe if you haven't. We'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. I might do another one today, or it might be a movie review. I just saw The Eternals on Disney Plus, and I might do a review of that as well. So we'll see how my time goes today. All right, this is Indie Comics Jones from the Temple of Tomes bidding you all adieu.